So, over the past few years, I've been putting up the bits and pieces to do with Vin Diesel. I started doing it originally just to see if I could get bites, to see what he would say and do, whether he would confirm stuff or not. And sure enough, he had done over the years. Same with Paul Walker. Now, I'm doing this one so that people can understand why I've said what I've said and what I've done over the years. A few times, yeah, people think I'm just joking or they've got no proof and etc. Half of why I do these is to prove or back up what I realise is that he's been doing. And there are times that he will look at these and he will respond in his own way. Now, when he responds in his own way, the response that I get, depending on what it is, either confirms or denies that he was behind it all. Now, my friend and I were talking the other day, and he says to me, well, why don't I move on, da 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 da. And I explained to him what happens if I try to, as they say, move on. In the past, how long now? Be about 5, 6 years now. No, it'd be more than that, sorry. When I started finding all the bits and pieces and connecting things together, I had goes of him on his different IDs, and he would fuck up every so often. And when he fuck up, I'd know it was him. And as I said before, could never pick who the other bastard was, or rather, what I thought was a bitch. Turns out the bitch was Paul Walker, because after her death, or rather, since his death, none of those IDs have ever come back. None of them have insulted me the way that he used to insult me. So I always knew what I got was Paul and what wasn't Paul. I also knew that Paul was Vin's copy and paster on the days when Vin was out or he's working on something, and Paul was online talking using the ID as Susie. Now, my conversation with my friend, he says to me about, well, some of the stuff's in the past. Again, let it go and keep moving. I says, I've tried that over the years. But there are times like, and I gave an example when I had my photo taken with my friend Nicole. Nicole is new hostess. And when she's not at work, she looks like a guy basically. Hair pulled back, tank top, the works. And in the photo, it looks like she's a guy. And we've got our arms around each other, holding each other, and having our photo taken because it was New Year's. When I showed the photo to Suzanne, as in Vin, his reaction was to go right off his nut. Who is that man? Why is that man touching you? That man shouldn't be touching you. Why are you holding? Why is he holding you? Why is he this? Why is he that? And it was a continuous series of lines of why is he this? Why is he that? Da 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 da. And this is after I busted a few things he'd done before. And I'm like, well, Nicole will be quite happy to have you, you call her a guy to start with. And then he was like, oh, sorry. Then I told him about a few other things I've done with certain other guys I've met over time period. He throws jealous tantrum fits. Is that ID? Which is half the time how he gives himself away. Because as Suzanne, he shouldn't be throwing fits of a woman touching me when Suzanne is supposed to be a normal female interested in males. Which is how Vin fucks up sometimes. Other times he's used other female IDs, and when I've mentioned about guys I get bombarded the same way. Why are you doing this with him? Well, yeah. When he's using a male ID, it's even more hostile when I mention another male has touched me or been near me. My pictures that I put up a few years ago where my friend, we're having fun with the photos, and I give him another kiss, and he's touching me and holding me. He went right off his rocker at it. And I'm telling him all this to my friend. And he's like, oh, well, maybe that's just the past and things he's done. It's time to let it go. And I says, oh, I've tried. And then Vin makes a new idea and comes back and bothers me again. Comes back and does new shit to me again. I says, hell, remember I mentioned about the cloning of my phone? He's, yeah. And is Lucky doing it? He goes, yeah. I says, that was this time last year. Same with some of the other stuff. I've kept quiet about certain things. And then I mention it later. And Vin will do a hugger boogie about it because, again, I've named something that he didn't want me to name, or I've done something he doesn't want me to do. And each time I do it, he pulls fits. Even now, he's still got one of his MOs going by the looks of it because when he was filming, he would do stuff to keep me busy. If he couldn't do it himself, he'd pay the lackeys to do it. Which meant I used to get robberies, break-ins, and etc. Well, I haven't had any robberies or break-ins for a while, and then Vin's gone off and done this filming in West Africa or wherever it is he's supposed to be. And lo and behold, somebody tries to break in my car while I'm down Wellington, when it's at a friend's place. Now, that by itself would probably just be a coincidence, except for the fact that also the gas and the tyre got damaged as well. The gas got sucked out of it, tyre got deflated, and they tried to break the back window and they couldn't do it. And it blew on me yesterday. So, this is stuff that's to make me stay put, to keep me under control. That's one of the things that Vin likes to do when he's away filming. Keep me under control, keep me stay put, so he knows where I am. He won't keep his word to me, he won't keep his promises, and then he wonders why I got angry and started yelling at him and told him to fuck off and leave me alone. Been telling him to fuck off and leave me alone for a long time. You saw my last video I did on Vin. In between then and now, he's pulled other little stunts, including the fact that he lied about different things. And the reason that his daughter exists now, which is the newest one, is again out of pure spite because of the conversation that we were having back in August of last year. That's how I knew that she was pregnant when I said the video about she being pregnant before he even announced it. Because I know what he does. I know what he's like. He talks to me. He tells me things. He fucks up. And then I just take note of all the IDs he's fucked up on. I've mentioned them before, the older ones, which were things like the use of Suzanne Warhol, which the idiot still has his Vin Diesel page links to at Facebook. Because he can't delete it, because if he does it, deletes part of his Facebook one for Vin Diesel. There was his Connie Garrett ID. There was the one he used to use as QQ. There was his Janie Dot ID. Then there was the use of things like Christine Strickland. She'll deny it, of course, but I know for a fact that it's Christine Strickland, because I'll tell Christine Strickland something and then Vin Diesel will go and do it. And that's how I usually know when Vin's been using the ID. Which means Christine's somehow related to him, or she's one of the dumb bitches like Silka Inga, who have allowed him to use her ID for years on end, because she thinks that he's using my ID, he's my friend, he's da 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 da. Otherwise he pays him to use it. There are other female IDs he's used over the years. There are other male IDs he's used over the years. And still, he just basically keeps doing this. He'll set lackeys up to rob me, follow me, stalk me. Not once or twice, every fucking chance he gets if he finds out where I am. He has me robbed, he has me kept in places, he has me kept under control. And when I've asked people to do something about it, like with the New Zealand government, I get ignored. That's why I started making these videos. I've had people insult me, call me names, going, oh, you got no proof, you got no proof. But what's interesting, a number of those who turn around and go, you got no proof, and back him up and defend him, 9 times out of 10, Vin's fake IDs. He makes them to do stuff with, which is ranging from promote movies, promote shit, which is what I showed him how to do it, through to conning you guys, other different things ranging from the video games that they're playing for the online video games. And again, when I point stuff out, people don't want to listen, don't want to know. And then when they get stung, they come crying back to me going, oh, he did this to me. Oh, he did that to me. And bawling their eyes out about the fact that he'd done all this stuff. And I said, I fucking told you. And you asked me about it, and I explained it, and you ignored me, and you insulted me. And then you found out later that I wasn't lying. I was telling the truth. And you realised what was going on. And then instead of apologising to me, you come crying to me, going, oh, well, he did this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. I've had hundreds of people do this to me. Yeah, and then they're wondering why I'm getting a little bit agitated and yelling at them online because they're dumbass motherfuckers who allow him to do it. And yet when I've clearly stated, and you've seen I've clearly stated what he has done, they still fall for his lines. They still fall for the con job. And again, nobody wants to do anything about it. I was getting that angry with the way things are going, that what I had planned to do was, once I finished the stuff with the government in New Zealand, I was going to make 2 films. One about the New Zealand government, using all the videos I've got, documenting everything, showing exactly what a lying shithole New Zealand is. And then I was going to expose Vin. And I was going to do a whole film about what he's done, how he's done it, all the truth about what he tells everybody compared to the lies he tells everybody. Everything I've got documented, saved, copied, all of it. And just for the record, it's 17 years worth of stuff. Some of it's been robbed and stolen from the house, but I had backups that I've hidden and it was safely kept. Other things I've got friends to get copies of that they had from other things. That's why, in case you haven't noticed, I haven't been adding too much to the website of late. Haven't been doing too many videos on Vin of late. Because I've been collating all the information as it's been sent to me. Even had people come crying to me about how I got done by the lackeys with the break-ins and the cameras and everything else. And a couple of them have realised that they were victims the same because they kept having these odd noises and they had been talking to him. And they were documenting that for me. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. I don't care really. Because, again, once they just add what they have to say, I'll just add it to the rest of the poll. But at the end of the day, I've got enough to hang him if I want to. Our legal systems won't allow us to do this to him because our legal systems are crocks of shit. New Zealand government won't allow me to do it against Finn because he's overseas and I'm in New Zealand. I can't get to Los Angeles to file in Los Angeles, and again, some of the stuff he's got away with is not illegal under Los Angeles law and California law and US law, but it's illegal under New Zealand law. So again, the only resort left is doing videos, eventually putting it in all together, and then taking the film to Cannes. And odds are, when people do get to understand what I've written and seen and showed, they may actually turn around and wake up to the fact that he's a better actor off screen than he is on.